Well now, it seems I'm back again. In the last episode, Michael asked me to step in for a moment, and apparently he thought I did a decent job. Good enough that he handed me the keys to the introduction once more. So here I am, Opa Cohen, warming up the microphone for another round of musical poetry. In my culture, this time of year is truly the most wonderful time of the year. A season of light, warmth, memory, and just a touch of magic. And speaking of magic, Michael's daughter is currently visiting New York, that city where winter jazz spills into the streets. And somehow, all of this makes tonight's theme fit perfectly. A Christmas classic wrapped in a soft, playful jazz mood. It just feels right. Tonight's poem is A Visit from St. Nicholas, written by Clement Clarke Moore and first published in 1823. Many people know it by its famous opening line. 'Twas the night before Christmas. A little background before we begin. Clement Clarke Moore was an American scholar, a professor of classical literature, a quiet, bookish man in New York City almost 200 years ago. As the story goes, he wrote this poem as a gift for his children, never imagining it would become one of the most beloved Christmas verses in the English-speaking world. In fact, he didn't even put his name on it at first. It went into a newspaper anonymously on Christmas Eve. But readers loved it instantly. The rhythm, the warmth, the lively, jolly St. Nicholas who felt more like a friend than a distant legend. Since then, this poem has shaped the very picture of Santa Claus as we know him. The reindeer, the sleigh, the belly that shakes like a bowl full of jelly. All of it began right there in a quiet New York home for a circle of children waiting for Christmas morning. And now, nearly 2 centuries later, it arrives here again, set to music, wrapped in a gentle December glow. And if your listening app supports it, you can even watch the video version with images that match the mood and subtitles in English and German. So settle in, make yourself comfortable, and let the story begin. A Visit from St. Nicholas by Clement Clarke Moore. 'Twas the night before Christmas.
Bum, ba-bum, 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 bum. A quiet winter night. 'Twas the night before Christmas, when all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care, in hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there. The children were nestled all snug in their beds, while visions of sugar plums danced in their heads. And Mama in her kerchief and I in my cap had just settled our brains for a long winter's nap. When out on the lawn there arose such a clatter, I sprang from the bed to see what was the matter. Away to the window I flew like a flash, tore open the shutters and threw up the sash. The moon on the breast of the new fallen snow gave a luster of midday to objects below, when what to my wondering eyes did appear but a miniature sleigh and a tiny reindeer, with a little old driver so lively and quick. I knew in a moment he must be Saint Nick. More rapid than eagles his coursers they came, and he whistled and shouted and called them by name. Now Dasher, now Dancer, now Prancer and Vixen, Vixen, on Comet, on Cupid, on Donder and Blitzen, to the top of the porch, to the top of the wall. Now dash away, dash away, dash away all, as dry leaves that before the wild hurricane fly, when they meet with an obstacle, mount to the sky. So up to the housetop the coursers they flew, with a sleigh full of toys and St. Nicholas too. And then in a twinkling I heard on the roof the prancing, the pawing of each little hoof, as I drew in my head and was turning around. Down the chimney St. Nicholas came with a bound. He was dressed all in fur from his head to his foot, and his clothes were all tarnished with ashes and soot. A bundle of toys he had flung in his back, and he looked like a peddler just opening his pack. His eyes, how they twinkled, his dimples, how merry. His cheeks were like roses, his nose like a cherry. His droll little mouth drawn up like a bow, and the beard on his chin as white as the snow. He had a broad face and a little round belly that shook when he laughed like a bowl full of jelly. He was chubby and plump, a right jolly old elf, and I laughed when I saw him in spite of myself. A wink of his eye and a twist of his head soon gave me to know I had nothing to dread. He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work, and filled all the stockings, then turned with a jerk, and laying his finger aside of his nose, and giving a nod up the chimney he rose. He sprang to his sleigh, to his team gave a whistle, and away they all flew like the down of a thistle. But I heard him exclaim ere he drove out of sight, "Happy Christmas to all, and to all a good night." Bum, 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 good night.
Ah, what a delightful ride that was. A sleigh skimming rooftops, tiny hooves tapping in the night, and that familiar warmth that only a Christmas classic can bring. Michael and I hope you enjoyed this musical visit from St. Nicholas. A little sparkle for the season, a moment to pause, to smile, and to feel the soft glow of winter magic settling in. If you enjoyed this episode, we'd be grateful if you left a comment, shared it with someone who might need a smile, or subscribed for more musical journeys. From Michael and from me, Opa Cohen, we wish you a gentle, joyful Advent season. Stay warm, stay hopeful, and let the music of these old words accompany you into your morning, afternoon, evening, or night. Goodbye, and do remember, where words fail, poetry still speaks.